One of my most exciting discoveries in the past few months has been OpenEar earbuds. Specifically, it was the Moondrop clip-on earbuds that got me into it because the sound to price to comfort ratio is just absolutely perfect. So when SoundPeats reached out to me to try their version of clip-on earbuds in the form of the SoundPeats Clip1, I said, absolutely. I'm your cool Uncle Marissa, and today we are going to take a look at these and see how they stack up against the competition. As a disclaimer, like in all of my review videos, this video has not been shown to anyone prior to publishing. I haven't received any payment, and all of my opinions are verily mine own. So I didn't initially intend for this to be like A versus B type video, but it's very much like guy who's only seen one movie and every other movie is just reminiscent of the one movie. I've only tried one other pair of clip-on style open-ear earbuds, so the comparison is kind of inevitable. The SoundPeats Clip1 is this, and it is around $70. So for comparison, my cat is playing the drums in the litter box. You wouldn't hear that with closed back earbuds. Well, this is the SoundPeats Clip1, and it retails for around $70. Put that in comparison with the Moondrop Pill at around $30. And it has a lot of good reviews on Amazon. Granted, a lot of things do and a lot of things that should don't, because people are like, I bought this knife and I put it in my ear and it hurt. Why would you do that to me? So that's not something to go off of, but it seemed pretty legit. So I was really excited to try it and also just try a different brand and see if almost double the price is going to give us double the quality. Doing a very cursory look at it just for the sake of visuals, it's obviously nowhere near as interesting design language wise. It's just like this pearl finish shiny case. Earbuds similarly are just white. There is a little something to it of that attempt at elevated but comes off as gauche style of adding a little shimmer to things. It's giving like middle-aged Kohl's shopper, the fact that it's not just a white case, it has this shimmer, or when you look at the earbud itself, it has this metal accent that, I don't think serves any purpose, or it has this metal plate on it that I don't think it's rose gold. I think it's silver, but like it kind of has a bit of rose gold to it. This is like rose gold iPhone audience kind of vibes. So the aesthetic isn't necessarily up my alley, but it's not completely off-putting either. It also does come in another color. It comes in black, although the black does still maintain those silver accents. So instead of that vibe, it gives a bit more of like fitness bro vibe. It's kind of like on the edge of being tacky. Like, it's tacky if you think about it. Really what matters is what does it sound like? And not to spoil it off the bat, but these being over 2 times the price of the Moondrop Pill, I would have at least thought that they would sound equal to them. But I definitely expected them to sound better, and they didn't. They, in fact, just sound quite bad. They sound like you're underwater. It sounds like muffled and garbled, which is also confusing because the whole point of open ear audio is a crispness and a cleanness. So whenever I test out a piece of audio listening equipment and it's open ear, open back, and it's muffled, it's like kind of impressive. Like, how did you do this? Like, this is like the thing that this style is like the foundation of this style. How did you mess that up? And I thought, okay, maybe it's an anatomy thing, because if you've been following my audio reviews, you know, I started with headphones for small heads, and that's like a common theme, but I'm very, very aware of our anatomy affecting how we hear and experience different headphones, earbuds, both styles and even individual ones. And so what I did was I just took the buds with the speakers on them and I pushed them in, not like push them in to like smush against my ear, because obviously that would make it more muffled, but I pushed them in just closer to my ear canal. For example, again, doing that with the Moondrop Pill, like if I put it really close to my ear canal, it sounds amazing, but naturally it doesn't sit obviously right outside my ear canal. I put these right next to my ear canal thinking maybe there's a part of my ear anatomy that's causing them to muffle, and it still sounded muffled even without anything in the way. So here's where we go into the app to EQ it. Now, I've expressed this before, but if something doesn't sound good or even great right outside of the box, I already like points are docked, because I don't think that it's sustainable to have to rely on an app to use a physical product. In fact, that really pisses me off. Like, an app as an auxiliary, as a convenience, is great and fine. For example, one of my lights uses an app over Bluetooth, and while it's super convenient to be able to manage it like from a distance, if that app ever disappears, all of those controls can be accessed via buttons on the light. So that's kind of how I think an app should work. So already I'm a bit bitter having to download the app. Then I have to register and make an account, which also bothers me, because the app is on your phone. It can save your settings. They don't need you to have to register and give your information. And from like a privacy standpoint, but also still kind of a convenience standpoint, that always bothers me, because I'm like, now I have to be responsible for this other login and password. But okay, so I did that. It has a bunch of different presets, as expected. They're all very, if we're comparing it to a Moondrop's app, it's a lot more convenient because they're all like in English and it's pretty clear what they're attempting to be. It's very like rock, pop, whatever. Whatever I picked from those, none of that helped at all. Just kind of made it sound worse, or maybe like marginally better, but it's still bad. So then I figured going into some of the features that it brags about, which is LDAC, Dolby sound, and adaptive listening. Adaptive listening was really cool, actually. It's very cool from just like a tech standpoint, in that it would play various frequencies and ask you to tap when you hear the frequency, and then it would, I guess, use that information to create an equalizer that is adjusted to you. And while that sounded the best of everything I tried, it still was really bad. So then I tried the LDAC and Dolby. When I turned on the Dolby, it sounded worse. When I turned on LDAC, I didn't feel any difference. And just like overall, like there's no bass in these. And that seems like a big ask, but the Moondrop Pill does have bass. And if you really just get in there and you use an equalizer app on top of the Moondrop Pill app, you can get like a really, really thumpy bass, which feels wrong and is not actually very pleasant because you get rid of everything else. But it is possible. With this, like I was trying to do it, but it just would get more muffled. I did make a phone call with them in, and I was like, hey, like, do I sound good? Do I sound crisp and clear? And I was told I do. And when I did a voice recording on my phone, it sounded crisp and clear enough. So there's that. If for some reason you want to spend $78 on that. In terms of controls, one thing that I did lament about the Pill is that I had wished that you could turn the volume up and down using the touch controls. So I thought maybe this would have more comfortable or interesting touch controls, but it actually, there was no one tap. One tap doesn't do anything. You have to do 2 tap or 3 tap, which is bizarre. Why? Why is there no one tap? And then the 2 to 3 taps often didn't register. So whatever capacitive touch thing is there is not very good quality. Moving over to Erognomics. initial glance, it looks a lot like the Moondrop Pill, but there's a lot of key differences. Despite looking a bit smaller, it is heavier than the pill. It does feel a substantial bit heavier in so far as when you have it in. With the pill, I forget it's there. With this, I feel it's there. It's not uncomfortable. And with most audio listening gear, you feel that it's there. It's a very rare and beautiful, blissful occasion when you run across something where you're like, oh, I don't even feel it. I forgot it was there. So you do feel it's there. The the plastic like holding the two bits together is definitely firmer than the pill as well. Not by a huge amount, but the pill's is more flexible. The part of the earbud that sits behind your ear on the pill has a curve to it. It's like a kidney bean, which is really nice. And I think that's part of what the naked feeling is. It really like cups onto the back of my ear. This one doesn't have really that kind of indent in it. And the speaker side is also slightly smaller. And because of that, I think that contributes to it not really like getting to your ear canal as much as the pill does, or at least my ear canal. But that kind of feels like a moot point, going back to the fact that I said even when I placed it right by my ear canal, it was still really muffled. So comfort-wise, I would give it a good score. While the pill is more comfortable, I wouldn't say it's so much more comfortable to the extent that this feels uncomfortable. It's just less comfortable. And I think with the right ear anatomy, it could actually be more comfortable than the pill. I really wanted to make this review ultimately because I know a lot of consumers still shop on Amazon and take Amazon reviews very seriously. And the fact that this has such good reviews and at a price point that would make you think like there were people who were like, for the price, it's amazing. And I don't want to be like, oh, these are like AI reviews or like just fake reviews, because I genuinely do think some people just haven't experienced enough audio in their life to be able to distinguish something that is high quality. I just want to make sure that if you are looking for open ear earbuds like that and you come across these, to not believe that sort of hype, because I also just was feeling a little gaslit reading those reviews. I was like, am I crazy? Am I deaf? Do I not have ears? Am I actually underwater, in fact? I am very curious, though, if you have tried these SoundPeats. Do you like them? Did I just get a dud? Like, because I also feel like if you're sending one out for review, maybe you would check to make sure it's not a dud, right? Let me know if you have one. If anyone's gotten the Moondrop Pill, let me know how you like that. Or especially if you've gotten one since my video dropped on them. And if you use other open back earbuds, let me know. I know someone was saying that they have Bose and they really like those. A little out of my price range. If you want to try these for yourself for some reason, there's a discount code in the description. Maybe you just really hate someone and you want them to experience being underwater while being dry. Otherwise, a huge thank you for watching this video. If you've seen my recent videos, you will know that in January, my cat was in the ICU for about a week, and he's quite well now, and he's getting treatment and everything, but unfortunately it did rack up quite a bill of $15,000, and I started a GoFundMe. I've been doing Twitch streams to boost that as well, so if you would like to donate, any little amount helps, like even $1 literally will help. Otherwise, the Twitch streams are scheduled in advance, and I announce them on my Discord and also put them on the schedule on my Twitch channel, which link is also in the description. Also, a huge thank you to my Ko-fi supporters. Their names are scrolling by. For $2 a month, you get access to my game reviews and any random write-ups about fixes and stuff that I perhaps am not putting up on my channel for one reason or another. With all that being said, I have been your cool Uncle Marissa, and don't forget that you are always welcome at Cool Uncle's house. And I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.